Hi guys, my name is Catherine. I am here with you today to talk about my OET journey. I just recently passed my OET exam and I would like to share with you my experiences and some tips and tricks in passing OET. So just a quick info about me. I am a Filipina nurse who is currently working here in Abu Dhabi, UAE. So OET, as you may already know, is an English language test. It's profession specific. So I believe it's mostly dedicated for health professionals who wish to pass their English language test. So OET is the same with IELTS. It has 4 subtests: the listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So the major difference is that with OET, all the information and all the content of the exam is related to your profession, while IELTS, it's general, anything under the sun. And that's the main reason why I chose OET, mainly because it is profession specific. Honestly, I am not confident taking IELTS because number one, I have a lot of friends who have taken IELTS and none of them really, or maybe only few of them, really passed IELTS in one take. It's mostly like they have to repeat it once, twice, thrice, or even worse, more than 5 times before they achieve the result that they wanted for IELTS. OET, on the other hand, everything is related to your profession. So you have an idea of the content that you might encounter in the exam, and that makes me a little bit more confident with myself taking this specific test because I know to myself that I am familiar with the topic. So why I'm taking OET? So it has been a dream of mine for quite some time now to migrate to New Zealand or Australia. So let me share with you my story with OET, my long ass story about OET. So I decided to take OET way back 2018. That was when a year after I started working here in UAE. So I was preparing. I already have seen a lot of reviews about OET feedbacks, and I was quite confident in choosing and in taking OET. So I booked myself an exam and it was around August. That was before when they're about to transition from the original OET to OET 2.0. So I reviewed, I even enrolled myself in one of the review centers here in Abu Dhabi, and I really didn't do good because number one, I was working and it's difficult for me to to manage my time. That sometimes I'm working weekend and the schedule of the review center and my schedule doesn't match. And also that time, I must say I'm not that serious reviewing OET. So anyway, I took OET and I was so nervous that time. It was my first time to sit again in an exam for such a long time, and I failed. So I was so frustrated. I was like, oh my god, I chose OET because I believe myself can make it, because anyway, it's profession specific. Like, okay, I will accept it if I failed in IELTS, but I failed in OET, and most people are saying that OET is easier than IELTS. So I was kind of frustrated at that time. I doubted myself, and so out of frustration, I booked myself again for a resit with writing. So the result came out that time and I failed writing. So imagine, I passed listening, I passed reading, I passed speaking, only in writing where I failed. So with New Zealand, they have this rule that you can resit only the particular subtest that you failed from. So then you club it at the end if you already passed the writing, so you can club two scores from different sittings, as long as it's, I think, 6 months, or oh no, 12 months. It's not more than 12 months apart, the test dates of those two exams that you plan to club the result. So I took again writing, and I failed again. So I said to myself, like, there is no way I will keep on failing this. I'm just like throwing my money. It's not that cheap. OET, by the way, is more expensive than IELTS. So I said to myself, okay, maybe it's not yet my time. But I was really down, and I really doubted myself back then, like, why I can't pass this OET. I read a lot of reviews that it's easier to pass with OET compared to IELTS. So it's like, maybe it's not just for me. I always go back to that kind of thing, like, if it's really for you, it will be given to you. But if it's not yet your time, there's no way you will be able to get it. It's like God has a plan for you, so maybe it's not yet for me that time. So I took a pause, and I told myself, like, okay, since I'm just new here in my workplace, why would I hurry? So I still have a lot of things to experience. So why hurry moving to another country when I just settled in here? So that's the reason why I took a pause. And then, like, 1 year, so the entire 2019, I didn't take an exam. So, but it has been in my journal, like, my ultimate goal, OET. And then I got busy, we got married, me and Ibrahim. So that was like really not the priority that time, but it has always been in my goal to pass OET, because that's our long-term goal, to pass OET for us to be eligible to apply for New Zealand. So last quarter of 2019, that was when we are due for vacation to Philippines, me and my husband Ibrahim. So that's like a 4-week vacation. So I thought to myself, like, how will I be able to make this vacation productive? So I thought, like, I consulted my husband, like, why is it wise for me to, like, on my vacation, booked for another, like, review center for OET, so that, you know, it's not just like all vacation. At least I did something for our future. Like, so I looked up on the internet all the review centers in Davao, because I'm from Davao, Philippines. So I found a lot. So anyway, I found this review center. It's called Niners, and I will link down below I think they have a Facebook page. So I took my crash course there, like, it was for 5 days, and from 9 to 5 p.m. So I really made, like, quite a sacrifice for that, to just, like, set aside specific time to review OET, to prepare for OET. So that was Monday to Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. So that was, like, so exhausting. But anyway, I did that. As soon as we got back here in Abu Dhabi, that was already around December first week, I checked the OET website because I'm planning already to book for my exam. So that time, I was planning to take the exam on January 11, 2020. But then when I checked the OET website, there's no more seats available. So it's fully booked. So I said, like, oh, it's fully booked. So what will I do now? So I've searched for the next test date. That it was February 8th, and it's still open for application. So I took that date, and then I told myself, like, oh, maybe I'm not yet well prepared, so maybe this is God saying me that, oops, you're not yet ready, so I'll give you more time to prepare. So when January came, I told myself, like, yes, I really have to fix this. I have to manage my time, because it's very difficult also that you work at the same time review. So I really manage my time well, I would say. Like I made a schedule table for me. When will I study? When will I rest? When will I go to work? Something like that, which you can also do that. For me to be able to like prepare well with my exam, I registered with E2 language. I will link them down below. I know you probably familiar with them. It's a website where you like sign up for free, and then there's a lot of what you call this materials there where you can prepare for like either IELTS, PTE, OET, anything. So I signed up for free there. Since from my previous experience, I always failed with writing. So Ibrahim, my husband, told me like, why don't you sign up for a feedback for writing? So they have packages there. So you will find it out when you go to their website. So I bought a package which contains like 3 writing feedbacks where they will provide you case notes, and then you will do your sample letter, and then they will assess it for you. They will grade it according to the standards of OET. So I bought that one and practiced writing. I really didn't even practice much with reading, listening, and speaking because I've already passed that before. I just have to focus in one subtest, and that is writing. So that's where I exhaust all my effort to just really review writing. So I went back to basics, grammar, language, everything. So it really helped a lot. I must say the E2 language, it really helped me a lot when it comes to grammar and all. So in general, in preparing OET, I took the exam. That was February 8th, and oh my god, from listening the first subtest, I was so drained already. Like I could tell like my head's gonna explode. It's difficult. It was difficult. And then my strategy that time, I told myself, this is the last time that you will come here and take this exam. So you better do your best, because literally it's expensive. It will eat up your time preparing, your money, everything, all the effort. So you don't want to waste that. So I told like, okay, my strategy is I will take each subtest as if like it's the only test that I'm taking. I'm gonna give my 100%. The first subtest that you will take is the listening, and then reading was also very difficult. Like especially the part C for me was like, it's so difficult to understand what is the gist of the article. So you have to find it out, and you have to find out the answer, and it's difficult because like everything, all the options seems to be correct. Writing, oh my god, writing, I was so nervous during that time, but I just kept on telling myself like, you really have to do this, you really have to give your best shot. My strategy for that one is just, I really didn't even like expect that I will pass writing, because for me it wasn't that good grammar wise, but I made sure to myself that I've organized my letter in such a way that has been taught to me by E2 language and from the samples from OET. So speaking, I was kind of like, the burden went off my shoulder already, because oh my god, I finished the 3 difficult subtests. Now I'm down to speaking. So I was a little bit relaxed with speaking. I was just telling myself like, you just have to speak, that's it. You just have to respond with the invigilator. Like you just have to respond to what she says and understand the case notes. So that's it. And so here comes the result. It was released on February 27. It's mostly 2 weeks after from the exam, your result will come out. So we were so nervous. I received it in the morning. That was, I think, Thursday. And to our surprise, we were so happy. We got the result that we've been praying for. I was able to pass OET during my 3rd try. So imagine third try. So much money and effort has been given just to pass the OET. And my takeaway on this is that if you really want something, you just really have to work hard for it, and do not feel down right away if you don't get it on your first try. You just really have to keep on like trying and trying, that because that's the only thing that you can do, aside from praying. So if God will see you that you've worked hard for something, of course there's no way that he will not grant you what you've been praying for. We're just so happy finally I made it. Now it's like OET for us is such a big factor when it comes to our future plans, because it's like OET opened the doors to our future. We are very thankful and still in awe. I know it's OA because maybe to some of you it's just OET, like you can pass it anytime, but no, for me this is such a big deal. For us, this is such a big deal. We've been praying for this so hard, and I wanna cry, but I'm just so grateful. We're just so grateful that he heard our prayers, so this means that this is a sign. I'm taking this as a sign from him that yes, I am granting you the opportunity to proceed with your plans. And that is such a wonderful message from him. So to those of you who are planning to take the OET exam, my advice is that you really have to continuously practice, because that will make you more familiar with the subtest that you are studying. And the second one is that I'm listing it down. So only focus on the subtest where you feel like you are weak or needs improvement. So you will discover it yourself that which subtest you are weak. Like me, I admit I'm weak with writing. So that was the only subtest I was basically reviewing the whole time. Like I reviewed my listening, my reading, and speaking only like maybe a week before the exam, because I know to myself I've taken the OET before and I passed it. So that gave me clear picture where I should focus on, and that is for me was writing. And then, but I'm not saying that don't give time studying the other subtest. I'm just saying that spend more time studying on the subtest that you feel like you need improvement. The third one is that if you feel like your samples or your materials are limited, there's a lot of sample materials, exam materials online where you can get it for free. But just make sure that all of them are legit and reliable, because there's a lot of samples that I've encountered where I feel like it's not legit and it's not really like based on how the way OET designed their exam. So that's just to save you from trouble. And if you are like me, that the weak spot is writing, then I suggest don't just practice. Have someone with you who will check your writing, your sample writing. Like there's no point of you practicing and then nobody's checking if it's right or wrong. So as for me, what I did, as what I've mentioned before, I signed up to that package from E2 Language where they will check your writing. So they will give you a feedback which is very similar to the criteria of OET. So it's very comprehensive, it's very clear, the feedback that they will give you, where they will point out which part is wrong, which part is correct. And they will give you the grade just like how the OET rates you with your writing. So it's very good. So if you're like me who have taken already OET many times, don't lose hope. Just keep on trying. Keep on studying, reviewing, practicing. That's the only thing. Like, that's the only thing that you can do. Aside from, of course, asking his provisions, asking his, you know, guidance as you prepare for your exam. But that's it. You just really have to prepare and, be dedicated with your goal, because there's no way you will achieve your goal if you're not doing anything about it, right? So that's it. I hope you get some information and you got motivated to take your exam. Don't be afraid. Yes, it is scary, especially like for us, no, we've been practicing already our profession, and then now we have to go back to studying. It's difficult, plus the fact that we're always exhausted from work. So that's it. I hope you like this video and you find this helpful somehow. See you on my next video.